Hello, hello, hello. Hey! Hello? Is
Hey.
anyone there? Oh, ah! I mean, oh, hi.
Oh,
Ohio. Did you sleep
Ohio.
well?
It's super. It's
Okay. Before we really stale that, we'll go and get started. So, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin,
Mark.
and you're watching and are listening to episode 412 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. Got some news to share, as well as just things to catch up on. First and foremost, Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm currently in a Korean fried chicken place.
Korean barbecue place?
Fried chicken.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Fried chicken.
Oh, rice chicken. Chicken or rice.
Chicken
Oh my
orders.
god. That's super cool. We'll see what we can do. If there's any point that like if you need to like dip out, that's totally understandable. Hopefully I'm not in the way too much having you
No, no, you're
call that
fine.
over. Okay. Well, you just let me know. We got a couple things here. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to some things that I've been seeing as far as just things I do casually. Also with the help of Mark, to remind me to do it, but to read the new chapter for Dragon Ball Super. That was doing a really quick recap on that one, or just like the main like things going on. Goku Vegeta fighting the big bag this time, Elec, and
I like his
man.
boss.
Oh, is it? Oh, then who was it?
Gas.
Yes. God, these names. But okay, so obviously Gas is currently like the most powerful like dude in the universe right now. Um,
As the last chapter hints once again back to what Vegeta said when he was fighting Granola, he's getting stronger.
mhm, right. So I mean, I'm getting major like Naruto Shippuden vibes specifically in this one portion of like the early arcs of Shippuden, where it was literally Team Guy who had to face off against like clones of themselves, and Guy's mentality to like kind of like push the entire team to like overcome their individual like fights with themselves was to work on improving every minute, every second you get stronger. And I was like, this, yeah, I feel it. I think.
Yep, and you saw Elec's false sense of security. He's like, they used those phones when he fought Granola. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so that was all right. That was before we made. That was actually after. That's before we made the wish. So obviously, you know.
This, yeah, that's true. He was thinking about that. Like, okay, no, he's still stronger, right? That form that like Vegeta's taking right now, already seen that, right? Okay, all right, then we're fine.
But he fails to realize the big advantage of Ultra Ego is the more damage he takes, the stronger he gets.
I think also it just it complements well with the whole Zenkai boost thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think what was it? Bardock loosely kind of referenced that, like in the flashback itself,
Mm-hmm.
where it's
There are
like,
a lot of people who are mad about the Bardock stuff right now.
why is that? I mean, people are mad about everything, but go ahead.
Mostly about the wish.
Oh well, you know
But
what?
here's the thing. I feel like the problem with that is a misinterpretation.
Right, it could be one of those things where it's like
It's based on how you interpret it.
it, like I think it can definitely have an impact on just Goku, just making sure that he has like a good childhood, so he was able to go to Earth like safely without
Yeah,
any
like see, because
issues.
he said like in the English translation he says for his sons to thrive. In the actual one, it's like for his son to grow up healthy and strong.
Oh, I
And
see.
I'm just, but like to me, I'm like, okay. People are like, well, that means he never struggled. That means he wasn't a low class. It's all because of the wish. I was like, he said sons. The biggest flaw in your logic is look what happened to Reddit's.
Look what happened to Rat. It's I think yeah, it's more of a, it's not like the thing that defines Goku as he is now. It's just generally speaking like their general well-being given
Yeah,
like the actions they decide to take.
Yeah, I don't really think I think it probably had like very minimal, if not anything, to do with anything that happened in his life, other than the fact that he got to Earth and is growing up okay.
I feel like those who are really upset about that are literally projecting like a bit of Vegeta, where it's like, I cannot believe you
I found that
lived.
hilarious. I found it hilarious. He just said that you and Reddit survived because of the wish.
I I think
And
we should take that like from Vegeta like a literal thing as to the result of that wish and nothing more.
yeah, it's like just literally only the fact that you survived the initial planet exploding. That's it.
They it's so that they were at the right place at the right time.
It's also the fact of, I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that Bardock sent something wrong and sent Goku out.
This is
That
true.
literally, that literally changes nothing.
hmm Right, because like all that stuff like after the fact still remains.
Yeah, it's like I don't get why people are mad about things. Like guys, like people are mad. They're like they've changed Bardock so much. I was like, he's really not that different.
I usually chalk it up to like people getting upset because they interpret things differently and mixes into like their own like preferred canon, if you will.
It's I mean, it's like, do I still love Bardock from the father of Goku? You bet your ass I do. But I don't mind Super Bardock. I think he's fine. I think he's the same Bardock, just a difference, just kind of told a little differently.
Yeah, in a way that kind of like sews him in back into like the main story. He's
And
part of the
plus, I mean,
story,
this
but more of the
it
origins.
shows him. It also shows him in a much more detailed. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I enjoy the old story? Of course. Bardock, a low class warrior. He wasn't exactly the best guy, but he wasn't a terrible guy. And like people say, like that just made the impact of him caring about Goku so much better. But I was like, yes, but also, does that really change the fact of how much more of a father we've gotten to see him be in this?
hmm
It's like I can see arguments for both sides. At the same time, at the end of the day, I'm like, people need to stop bitching.
Enough's enough.
Well, it's because like it gets to a point to where I'm like, okay, guys, you're taking this a little too far. It's like, okay, calm down.
If Bardock tries to get a third child, what then? What about that wish?
I did love them. Like, honestly, you think people would be happy because what's one thing people have always wanted since the end of time? Bardock and Bardock at all to be in Goku's memories.
Hmm. For
So I'm
Goku to
just like,
acknowledge that he had a life prior
yeah,
to like arriving.
that he was a Saiyan, that he remembered his
hmm
brother, his mother, his father,
Right. Or at least more
which
so, yeah,
literally got
just
that.
really just get the shine on that because like yeah, because Goku did meet his brother. But that was the thing that happened, and over the course of like the different seasons and arcs that we've had, he's never really looked back on that kind of stuff at all. It's
I think it's
always
because
about
he knows his brother was very old school and wasn't exactly open to change. Like his brother didn't get the same opportunity to change like Vegeta did.
yeah. And I can also understand the same aspect that like it's that Raditz did just threaten with his son, so
Got real personal at that point.
yeah, there's no reason to kind of like dwell on like previous feelings once the guy's dead and gone.
And plus, Goku kept Vegeta around for a couple reasons. One, he thought he was the last Saiyan left other than himself.
hmm
Two, a rival because he gets stronger.
hmm
Three, probably because Goku really didn't like killing.
Yeah, yeah, he's not really about that too much.
He'll he will only do it if he has no other choice.
hmm
Like he has emphasized that over and over again.
Right. He just
Like,
wants people to fight him. That's all he wants.
they emphasize on that in the Moro arc, which I thought was actually really good. How they actually went in on
Hmm.
on Goku's like mindset of things. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, because ultimately, like when you look at it like from a distance, Goku's like whole character is kind of simple in an effective way, just to push things
It's
along.
simple, but not yeah. It's simple, but it's like it's not simple in a bad way, in my opinion. In terms of like, it's simple, it does the job, and you can appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. But to get that extra bit of like, okay, now let's see if we can like dig into like Goku's like history and have him acknowledge the things that have happened. So as
Right.
of this chapter, he's literally witnessed and remembered everything like from birth. So
And he put on his dad's drip.
he also he has more importantly, he put on the drip. It looks just like him.
But people are like, well, of course it looks good. He's his son because
I was gonna,
almost the same. It's almost the same character design. I was like, regardless, it looks good.
regardless, I put on the headband.
I will say though, I do kind of miss the headband,
Hmm.
especially because I mean, did you ever watch the Father of Goku?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because like
it's a
you know
little
that
bit
it's
more
like
poetic. It's also kind of gross in that way, but
it has a lot. That bandana has a lot of meaning behind it
yes.
because it's like legit. He used it to clean Tora's face, his best friend that died. It's like got the blood of it's got his blood on it and everything.
Hmm.
He
That's
just
why
wrapped
it's
it
all
around
red.
his head. I was like, that's pretty metal.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say that the entire chapter was good in my opinion. Like I love seeing the team of Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct.
Yes. Yeah, that was actually really cool too. It's so it's interesting because like right here, right now, you see the stark contrast between these two. Um, and despite like my initial impressions of it looking like I just witnessed just like someone's OCs, it's
Someone's OCs.
Gavita,
Vita. I will say though, like one of the
Kogu.
things taken Kogu. One of the things that's taken mine is
Hmm.
and you see it in the designs is Toriyama and Toyotaro they put on there that they took some inspiration like from I think like Toyotaro hasn't confirmed it with isn't confirmed it from Toriyama, but this is just his assumption that with Ultra Ego it's based on Beerus, like a god of
Well,
destruction.
yeah, yeah.
And then whereas as you can see with the hair color, the energy, it's like the Beerus, like the dark purple Hakai energy.
Hmm.
And then with Ultra Instinct, more of an angel technique, so that hence the Whis colored hair.
Okay.
So which I was like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't really think about it, but it makes sense because of where they learned it from. Now, granted, Goku's a little bit different because like he had that like going in without like the proper
Mhm.
training for it. Uh, but that could have been one of those things where like, oh, I actually had this plan, just further down the line. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of snippet.
I will say though, I have loved the introductions of both forms. Ultra Instinct in the anime, even in the manga, it was hype.
Yeah.
And I think that Ultra Ego, the introduction to Ultra Ego had some of the best Vegeta dialogue we've heard in years.
Mm.
Like honestly, that that had me just woo, just reading that gave me goosebumps.
Mm.
When he just said, in the middle, like in the middle of battle, like just like sadistically, just like my happy place. I was just like, oh, oh, Vegeta.
Like Zoinks Goku, all I want to do is just go all out. Ultra you.
The closed beta for that's out by the way, or the closed
Yes.
alpha.
Yes, I was gonna jump into that real quickly, but briefly, just kind of shifting over from manga to anime because manga for Dragon Ball Super is good.
Oh
But I
yeah,
also,
I can't wait for the next chapter.
mhm. Next thing I want to kind of like give a shout out to is the new arc for Shield Hero. It's starting off pretty strong. Interesting about that though was the fact that a lot of people were pointing out like for I guess either light novel or manga, either one that
But a ton of content.
yeah, there was some out of content stuff. Nothing too severe from what I understand, but it also
Oh,
has some implications.
I was told they cut out a ton.
I could see that because I could totally see a full like maybe one, two, maybe even three episodes of them just kind of in this infinite like world puzzle. Um,
Like the girl I forget her name at the moment, but the one they add
yeah,
in at the end of season one.
they had at the end of season one.
Yeah, the one that was in the boat. It was in the Bow Heroes group, and he just kind of kicked her out.
Oh, Risha,
Yeah,
Risha,
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah, like she helped at the end, and then he kicked her out because of his accessory and bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, like she has this whole arc that it's like a lot of development for her. Yeah, they skipped that.
Oh, really? I guess, ooh, because like from my like obviously the anime only perspective, I see that as she had like a weird like development arc in this previous arc. So now we're walking into this new arc, and she's, from what I understand, she seems okay, and we don't have to really focus too much on that. But if she
As
was meant
someone
to,
who's looked as
if
someone
she,
who's looked at a little bit of content from the books and all that, hey yo, the bow hero, fuck that guy.
oh my god, dude, listen, they all try to stand up for something, and they kind of fail miserably at that.
Oh no, dude, he next level petty.
Oh, he's a next level petty. Like, we
So,
understand Spear Hero, he's kind of an open book now. Ren is yet to see.
Ren, Ren, there's hope for Ren.
Mhm. Yeah, he reflects on things, but I do know one out of contact thing about him, and we'll see how that like pans out. But Itsuki, the bow hero, I don't really know too much about like what happens to him later on, or even
Do you
what
mind
he's
if I
done
say? Do you
previously.
mind if I just say like one thing?
But yeah, go ahead. Actually, this one's fine.
Spoiler alert: 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He broke the accessory his damn self
Oh,
and just blamed it on her.
oh
And the
no,
rest of the team went with it. I was like, you piece of shit.
yikes!
I was like, that's why I said it. Next level petty.
It's not too late to change his name too.
Let's see, we have trash and we have bitch and her adventure name is Slip. But what should we call him?
Hmm. I have no idea.
My fiance just looked at me like, "What the hell did you just say?"
Oh, I see. I'm trying to look at his characters. Just call him Cabbage.
Cabbage,
Call him Cabbage.
cabbage.
Wouldn't
Like
that make
honestly, like
cabbages?
not talking about cabbage, but like I see the most hope for Ren, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
The sword hero and the shield hero are by far the most redeemable.
Yes, and I think Shield Hero has redeemed himself. It was interesting though in this like previous arc how he had his own viewpoints about himself, despite having now been accepted and recognized for all things he's actually done. But at the end
I
of
was
it,
hoping to see him like return a little bit to his normal self before all the
yeah,
betrayal. Yeah,
right.
that ain't happening too much.
I don't think it's happening. It's way too internalized with them. I don't like.
I think like I saw a little bit towards the end of season 1. I saw a little bit of the old Naofumi back in him, but definitely not all of it.
Yeah, I I think it might be more of a permanent change now because like trauma does do something to you.
I know, but usually like you can tell he tries to be distant, but you can still tell a little bit of that old Naofumi is still in there.
Hmm. I think the things I see in him now are more over. Obviously, there's like the general serious side of him, but he's also pretty playful and joking with people close to him. But that's the extent of it. I don't really see him like as excited as he was early on when he got transported. Like first and foremost, he was like excited about being in this new world. Um, and even like after he got blamed for all the things that people assumed he did, there was one quick bit that showed like a little bit of like still a bit of like curiosity in him, and that was when he first used Airstrike's shield, where he was like, oh, he got actually really excited when he saw it, and he was like, oh, all right, this is useful.
He's like, oh, cool skill.
But one thing I did like about the series was, of course, like the whole like level mechanics and stuff like that. So this arc kind of like briefly kind of went over the whole idea of like going back to level 1. I still kind of at a lower level now, but kind of going back to the basics of like, oh, I need to take in like all these different ingredients, and we get to see that actually on camera and see him like experiment a little bit more. Like, let's do some level grinding before we proceed further. And just simply the whole
Just
like
like to go through
Charlie,
it
no, you can't take on this guy. He's like at your level. No, don't.
right. I wonder this though. Like he is. I wonder what happens because he shows no interest in women now. He did before, but now he's just like me. I don't know if it's just the fact that he just doesn't feel that way about Raptalia and Theo, or if it's just the fact of he just doesn't care.
I that's tough because I remember another content thing or like well just like later on. Um, it was that one time I went to Barnes and Nobles and I actually saw Shield Hero and it had a different cover and everything like that. I'm like, where is this? So I just read
Was it the
like
light novel or the manga?
it was a light novel, so it was literally like paragraphs where you get a little bit more of an introspective on the character. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a page where like Raptalia was kind of in a more what was it? It was what was it called? I'm not sure if it was a kimono or something like that. Probably a
I was
kimono
I was just
outfit.
thinking there's like at first he was just seeing her because we saw him before. Like once she was there for him, he's like, wait, Raptalia is a little girl.
Hmm.
So yeah, he finally saw her like she's growing up.
Yeah. But in that certain part, like later on, he kind of thinks to himself, like, huh, I never really thought about like the romance part of it. Like, I acknowledge Raptalia now as a woman, but that's kind of it. So I think it's more like he's just too caught up with like just the hero business for before he can really settle down and think about that.
He
Because
saw that kimono and he was like, oh,
I don't know if it's like that. I think it'll probably be like something where if we get that further out into the anime, it'll just be one of those things where it's like he sees something kind of familiar to him, and he's like, oh wait, oh no, all right, and it's just like he like plays it off just like that. But
but I know a lot of people are like really hoping that they're hoping for the ship, but I'm like, I don't know. Like we'll see if he
we'll
isn't
see.
ship. Like either there's other competitors.
Yeah, I know. Like we'll see. We'll see. For
I mean,
now,
like they
he's.
really hint at Melt. They really hint at Melty.
I think it's more like I think that's more one sided.
Now,
Where it's like, don't worry, Melty. All you gotta do is just have our master dot on you. Like, what? No, that's not what I want,
all you gotta do is have the slave crest. Obviously.
bruh. I love the fact that like there's been a commentary was like, Rotalia, only you are that psyched about Slave Crest.
I mean, like I think both. It's because for her, she sees the slave crest in a different light.
Definitely now. That doesn't mean it's for everybody.
True, but I mean, it does allow them to actually have some like advantages.
Yeah, I don't really see it visually though. I just know that they get buffed up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what he said. That he gives some buffs,
Mm-hmm.
and there's also the fact of, I mean, and we can see it's definitely got its advantages, including the most satisfying trial in all of crime.
Right.
Oh, that was such a satisfying trial.
That was really good. That and the process was so like streamlined. It's like, did you do this? No. I mean, yes. All right, good. You're guilty.
Even the dad was like, "Jesus Christ, you did that."
Oh man, I wonder what happened to him. I have not seen that dude.
Oh, I don't know. We know that mine is still
Yeah, he's still.
adventuring, I believe.
Yeah, she's trying to still take advantage of Motiasu, and that's not really helping in her favor. He's a little
That dude,
too distracted. Um, I
that
re-
dude, unfortunate.
I will say this as another just another thing like later on. I'm not sure if it's happening now, but just like how Naofumi like dealt with a curse on his side in the sense that he experienced a lot of neglect, condemnation, um,
Great shield.
not the rage shield actually. It was just simply it was a curse. It's a curse type of thing that happens in the world that develops like with negative like emotions. For Naofumi, it was rejection of like entire like community. So much so it's blinded him. It prevented him from tasting food. it also prevented him from like seeing Raptalia change at all. So it kind of kept him like down for a good bit, and I think it's only when Raptalia like when he finally sees Raptalia like grow up, that's when like the and when he is able to taste that sandwich, that's when he was actually able to like break out of the curse. And from what I understand, the other cardinal heroes go through a different curse. Motiyasu, being kind of a womanizer, actually has a curse that makes him see women differently. They're the same, but his like visual like perceptive of them are like pigs. So I was wondering if he developed that at some point, because he didn't try to look at mine. He did not like look at mine. I was like, is it happening? Is it happening right now? I don't know what happens to Itsuki, but Ren goes through it too. So that's all I know, Batman. But,
I did hear about that with Matsuya.
Yeah.
He still likes Fio though.
Yeah, because technically speaking, like she's not like a full blown like woman. She's one, a child, and two, a bird. So I guess it doesn't like affect her because it's just like, oh, you're not like a human lady. So
I think it's more to do with the fact of his fetish.
oh, the fetish is the only protection he's got against the curse. Curse looks
Because
at
I
that, he's like,
mean,
I don't want to touch that.
he's got a thing for angel. He's got a thing for angel-like girls.
Yeah, that was weird. He got man, this dude got really gross at that certain point, like when Melty was just like escaping from the capital. Like, bro, come on.
Just to get hit in the nuts again.
Yeah. It was so funny when Naofumi looked down, he's like, dude, what is that?
He's got the cup.
My god.
But, hey, after that happened, do you blame him, bro? And
I
you see,
don't know.
mine's like, oh no, save the royal penis.
Oh,
And if they
but
slept together, it's pretty much implied that they slept together.
yeah, and do you think? Because like honestly, I feel like sure she would probably do that with them just for like for her own advantage, but at this point, it looks like she doesn't really have much of an opinion or see like much use for Motoyasu except for like granting like favors towards anyone who respects the spear hero in any capacity.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like I feel like Motoyasu himself doesn't really like try to do anything to gain like a better status. Moreover, just win other girls. That's it.
Yeah, especially now. I mean, like before he wasn't like that, but now he's like that.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Before he seemed like before he was definitely a ladies' man, but mine definitely had him wrapped around her finger.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because she really did like that wasn't really his fault per se. It's just that she clung on to him because she
That
recognized
woman is
that.
poison.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the characters interact with each other, mainly in Naofumi's like party after all the things have happened. Like having mine in just in the same area as Naofumi is weird sometimes for me. And then the
Yep.
fact is that the shield like all the cardinal heroes like talk to the shield hero on a relatively normal basis, and they're not lashing out insults whenever they get the chance.
They've actually started to respect Naofumi to a degree.
Yeah, I think at the
I
end
will
of
say
like,
this though,
oh, go ahead.
from what I've read, there is a very common link back to everyone's curses. All the four heroes, all their curses. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? So, I mean, we kind of understand Naofumi's, and just by like out of context of Motoyasu's.
Because what caused Naofumi's curse?
It was neglect, people hating him, so he kind of hated back.
But who was the catalyst behind it all?
Oh, is my oh, don't tell me she's the epicenter of all of this.
From what I've heard, to everyone's curse. Yeah, she's an evil poison that goes into their ears.
Oh my god. That's no good. I don't want to like listen. I was really hoping that like if anything, she just kind of like left out of most like conflicts. She was not at all something to consider. But if she's like out there, just even like inadvertently, just like leading the heroes like off the trail,
Just like through her own manipulative methods, like just trying to get her own way, just causing all these curses.
I'd be like, hey, Glass, that's the one. That's the one right there.
That is a very interesting dynamic of Shield Hero. I did like is the fact that it's multi-dimensional.
Yeah. So I'm actually really happy about that because if we stick around to like this current world's dynamic, it means that we still stick with a world that accepts Naofumi as he is, and I'm happy for him for that. But that does shift everything about like the mood and the tone of the
Yeah,
story
because
go forward.
technically, I mean, because that technically means that he would have to sacrifice what he'd have to make the choice of sacrificing one world to save his own.
That's also true. But entering a new world means entering other conflicts and stuff like that. It does make things a little bit more complex to follow through, but as long as we follow the main character and his party, added with like the whole like leveling up aspect, doing it all over again, it does refresh that quite a bit. So I'm really curious as to how they do this, and then later on there's season 3 because we know that's also getting green lighted, or it has been green lighted.
Was it already greenlighted?
Yeah, they announced second season a long time ago, and they were like, "Oh, we're also getting the green light for third season as well," considering like how like well this show has been received.
Yeah, well done.
So I am looking forward to this current arc because I'm just
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
like
That was real unfamiliar territory.
because I know they skipped a ton of shit in the Spirit Tortoise arc.
Oh, they did. There's probably a YouTube channel, right, that does that. They covered like the context stuff that was been cut out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to stick with that one. See what's going on. Because what I understood, like from the first arc, they definitely did skip some things, but it was still pretty coherent. Whereas like Spirit Tortoise and the current arc, I'm already seeing like cuts here and there already.
yeah. You're like, hold up. Some of this don't make sense.
Yeah, like some of this seems like a little too like quick for the pacing. What do you mean they
Some
left
of
the
this is
island at the end of the episode?
it's like so off screen. Yes, they left the island.
Mm-hmm.
Was it development? Maybe.
Let's develop that. Well, I mean, we have to like post these into episodes, so we'll just go ahead and do this and do that.
Yep. And on top of that, they also announced Mob Season
Oh
3.
yes. Oh my god, dude. I mentioned it before, but that show is really good. But it's one of those things where it kind of contains its excitement within itself in a way, and I think it's good for that. It's not like everyone's like super hyped like Attack on Titan season. It's just its own contained thing, and it's super cool for that. It's got a lot of emotions, a lot of growth in it. I was like, this is a nice one.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that's good. Honestly, season 1 was hard to top.
Yeah, but season 2, like, I did like diving more into like Mob's character and like him improving, personally. But it's literally just him, just kind of trying to blend, but also be a better person, be a better him.
Be a better Mob.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like season 2 was good. I don't know if I would say it was better than season 1, but it was good.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that too.
Especially because like season 1 was just so hard to top, especially like animation wise.
Yeah, it tends to do that.
Like especially the Mob versus when the guy who kidnapped Ritsu.
Yeah, that was vicious. And then round
Honestly,
2 was like done.
dude, I still remember what Gabe referred to that man as. What he referred to Mob as in that beat up tube of toothpaste. That's what I always refer to the episode now. I just do say what Gabe said. I was like Mob looking like a beat up tube of toothpaste. Accurate.
It really is though. what a really cool way to introduce that villain. But after that, like it was kind of like, yeah, whatever. I think
Didn't he become an ally later on?
he did second season. I think that was a really cool bit where it's like all these previous dudes that like were antagonists like joined together to fight like whatchamacallit, the guy who voices Sasuke.
To fight Sasuke.
Yeah, they fight Sasuke. And they were having some real hard times with that dude, but it was really cool to see everyone like tag team together.
I've
And
watched 99% of Mob Psycho season 2. I literally just need to watch the last episode.
oh,
Like, I don't know why I put it off for so long. I have no idea why.
bro, I get that feeling a lot. Sometimes you just don't want to finish it. You don't want it to end. I get it.
It's like quite literally just the last episode where Mob's about to just have the big boss fight.
Yeah.
It's also where like, you know, the freaking like I know it's like yeah, it was like the leader's son is like just trying to lead the rebellion against his dad.
Hmm.
Or like lead or like you know, trying to save all the other psychics. ESP.
Yeah.
Mob go Mob's got his girlfriend.
Does he have a girlfriend now? I forget.
I think that girl did kind of fall for him, not going cap.
Yeah, sure. I think if anything, things will solidify at the end of this season, the upcoming season. I mean,
Yeah. Like I honestly hope she's his girlfriend.
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see for sure.
It's our homies from the Body Improvement Club.
Also, that too.
I
Listen,
love the Body Improvement Club.
they're perfect. They are the perfect support group.
Honestly, what they should play the Pillar Man theme when you see them, when they come to the high school.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're not psychic. So in the realm of this world, in this series, like they're not really strong like that.
Oh, they're strong.
Well, yeah, they're super strong, but like
Like
we
you
deal with
saw when they came
psychics.
to that school, they cleaned house when they came to the school.
I mean, certainly, but I think a good bit of like Mob Psycho takes place like outside of the school.
I know, like when they went to save Bob and like all the regular students just came out. Holy shit, they were gods.
But I think yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to share like within that realm. Was there anything else I wanted to bring up the thing for Phil actually?
It feels very, very much wanting to admit to us to mention that.
Yes. He, he couldn't make it today, but he wanted us to like slip in a little bit of news that he was very excited for. It dealt with PlayStation actually. The fact is that we already know that PlayStation's having their subscription service being altered a little bit. They have like what was it? The classic essential stuff, a premium one, and then like a plus extra, plus ultra. But those would also it's actually essential, premium, and extra in the middle. But premium lets you access some of the older stuff, so older generations of games. What Phil was really happy about was the fact that they're pushing for the idea that if you own the game like prior to it showing up or prior to this whole subscription service on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 1 digitally, 2 digitally, then you just have it. So you can just download it, which I think is great. Because it really is just pushing that, you know, like even if you just have it owned digitally, you can still play it. I was still following that story a while back about, I think it was Chrono Cross, because like the remaster came out. Someone like obviously had like a PlayStation 3 like digital copy of the game and couldn't run it for some reason. So he kind of troubleshooted it, talked to a couple people. People followed the story. They shared their own
Reason,
inputs.
you know, some weird reason.
Yeah, I don't think we really truly figured out what happened, but you know, the mask kind of like spoke out, and PlayStation had to do something.
We could take some guesses, you know.
We could, but ultimately, he was able to get his digital copy to work. So, I think that could have been just like the catalyst to this, or maybe not. But I'm just happy either way because people are now able to access like those games, like, you know, as long as they've already owned it, or they can just buy it like separately from the entire like subscription. That's a really good thing, because it's starting to sound like, oh, it's sounding like Game Pass, actually, like a little bit more so, where like you could just buy to own it, so whenever it does come off the Game Pass, or you just don't want to do Game Pass, then you could just buy it separately.
Yeah, you could just keep using it on Game Pass if you want.
This is true. I think he also wanted to mention like a couple of, like, the PlayStation 3, 1, and PSP games you'll start seeing. Ape Escape's like a big one. Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligence, Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, and Super Stardust Portable. Not Stardust Crusaders.
I was getting ready to say Stardust Crusaders, JoJo.
Listen.
JoJo.
Oh, but they also have Ape Escape 2 as well. And the Jack series too. Dark Cloud as well.
Jack is in Jack and Daxter?
Yeah, Jack and Daxter. They also have
like, really happy.
They also have Jack X Combat Racing.
Jack X Combat Racing. Oh my god, he had a racing game.
Mm-hmm. The weird thing though is that according to the website that like Phil had like linked us for that kind of information, as far as PlayStation 3 games, they're still like via streaming. It's not like something you like digitally download. It's on the cloud. That includes Infamous and Infamous 2. Also, Infamous Festive of Blood. Also, the Ratchet and Clank games on PlayStation 3 are still streaming, so that's a little sad, but especially
Phil's already got them all physical, probably.
Yeah, so Phil doesn't have any issues, but like if you wanted to like own them, or at least not worry about like a possible delay input, I'm sorry, you're gonna have a bad time with Quest for Booty.
Quest for Booty.
Quest for Booty, a Kraken time.
Quest for Booty, a Kraken time.
The fractured butthole.
The fractured butthole.
I love that.
Try to finger butthole.
Fractured butthole. But there was a bunch of other games as well that you'll be seeing like as part of like Plus and Extra. Let me see if I can actually go through a few of them. Oh, actually, you know what? It was Infamous First Light and Second Son on PlayStation 4. It's like, oh, okay.
I honestly do. Like, I think the only reason we're not seeing Infamous is either Infamous 2 didn't do good enough, or it didn't do good enough, or maybe that they just really would rather have the studio focus more on Spider-Man.
I could definitely believe the latter for sure. From what I've seen of like Infamous 2, like, I mean, they're cutscenes, so they just kind of like hold up like a little bit well there. If that was like the main focus, I'm not sure about the gameplay itself, but I'm not sure about like a lot of that. Hopefully, we might see something. It depends if people like really demand for it.
Infamous was a very popular PlayStation franchise.
I think so too. It was just weird because like there's obviously Infamous. Infamous 2 was kind of weird because I didn't really hear much about that one after its release.
And then there was they also abandoned most of their shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Like they abandoned both Resistance and Killzone.
Who did Killzone? I think they are. Who was it?
I forget exactly who did Killzone.
Let me check. It was Guerrilla Games. So they did Horizon.
Oh, yeah, so that's what they're doing Horizon right now rather than anything on Killzone.
That's understandable. Let me see other games. Knack
2 got. I honestly thought Knack 2 was just a meme. I didn't realize it actually came out.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I just saw All Stars like as a title. I was like, oh, wait, but no, it's Destruction All Stars.
You're saying what, PlayStation All Stars?
Man, dude, listen, they tried it. They tried it.
An audience for it for sure. They got a nice group. They got a nice group of characters they could use, but unfortunately, it just didn't take off.
Yeah. And of course, Last of Us, Uncharted, some third parties. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is gonna be one of those.
Wow. I know Origins is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, I did see that too. I was like, wow, that's impressive. Guardians of the Galaxy is also gonna be showing up too, so that's super cool. Hollow Knight as well. Shout outs. Sorry,
Yeah.
people. Sorry, people who are still really waiting for Silk Song.
Like, I mean, they say it shouldn't be. I think they updated that and said it shouldn't take too terribly long now.
Right, but
They said it shouldn't be too much longer.
too much longer. So I mean, they really should have said it'll come out when it comes out.
Yeah, they said like they said it's coming. It shouldn't take too much longer. But we just don't want to give an actual date just yet.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we can't forget the old goat, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Is it actually going on there?
It's going on there because the game deserves it.
Like, is it gonna like is the new PlayStation service gonna have the cloud option like XCloud, or is it not gonna have the cloud option?
Good question. Probably understand like it's still like a culminated thing. I'm not sure because like PlayStation Plus, like, or at least was it PS Now? Isn't PS Now also joining in on that? So it's PS Now, PlayStation Plus, all together in one thing. I don't know much about the streaming aspect of it though.
I don't know if PS Premium does the streaming.
I'm pretty sure they would. I don't see why they wouldn't, but they never really highlighted that aspect of it. The same way that like Xbox would say that, hey, with Game Pass Ultimate, you can do all the stuff, and you can also just stream all the stuff from Game Pass. Check the library.
Always look at the when I look at the games, when I look at the games that are coming like to Game Pass every month, I always look and see what the title is, so I can see if it's a game I know or a new game that I've been wanting to play. And I look and see, all right, so I can play this on console, PC, and look, I can play this on all three. I can play it on the cloud, the PC, and on Xbox.
Mm-hmm. I was actually thinking about that one when it came to Tunic, actually.
Got touch controls for the phone.
Oh yeah, that's very important. Although I would say I don't really recommend playing Scarlet Nexus with touch controls. Boy, you're gonna have a real.
It's a little rough.
It's it's definitely a dance. So I mean, be prepared to do it if you want to go that route. Otherwise, just Bluetooth.
These with touch was hard.
Oh my god! Anything that requires you to like move the stick for the camera.
I know, it's like, oh, this is why controllers are so much better.
Right. So listen, either Bluetooth something to your phone or like just get something that like hooks it up and directly you're good.
Like just get like the case that goes in your phone, basically a controller.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like the one I have from Razer, I pretty much have to remove the entire casing here. It's not bad, but I just had to end up removing it just to plug it in. But yeah, that's pretty much the initial look for Sony. I think it looks really good. They also, what was it? Phil also mentioned something on Discord in the sense that I think they're bringing trophies over to the old games as well, or the old platforms too. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually really, really cool.
So they're giving old games new achievements.
Yes. So I'm like, that's a perfect excuse to just go back to these games and like clear them.
Yeah, it's like another excuse to play the game other than just like re-clearing it is the fact that you can actually get achievements now.
Yeah. So for sure, like just jump back into those OG, like, I mean, obviously they made PlayStation 4 ports of Jak and Daxter, but I was like, if they didn't have that, they at least have the trophies in there now. It's like, ooh, now we could try to perfect this very like, clunky game and try to get the perfect trophy, the platinum.
Exactly. Also, I'm gonna take the food inside right now, so I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. All right. I will go ahead and shift over to the next topic here. You know what? Since this is more personal, I will go ahead and talk about this one. I want to give you guys a really quick feedback on my impressions on Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I started playing that game, I think, this past Sunday. and it's been a journey for someone who's like went through and already seen the story and everything like that, thinking I would never play this game because it was only available on the Wii at that time. Um, I thought the story was pretty elaborate. I didn't have much emotions going into it because obviously I didn't play the game. I didn't really sit through and watch the entirety of this movie. I just kind of like saw bits and pieces here and there. It's really good. Like, like I think the story, like as it is, for like from an outside perspective, kind of knowing the main story beats, like who these characters are, the significance of them, like for the overarching narrative. I believe that seeing it like in that perspective kind of shines a lot of light on the mystery of some things. Like you look at some characters differently because you know what's going to happen to them later on. It's kind of like the most ambiguous thing I could possibly give you without like context or spoilers. But the main thing I wanted to get, or the main thing I wanted to take away from all of that, was just playing through the game. What was I gonna say? For just simply the combat, because the combat's actually pretty different than other like RPGs I've ever played, where it's like you have whatchamacalls, you have all these arts down like on the bottom hand side of your screen. They all have their own cooldown time after use. There's a whole break, topple, daze mechanic going on. There's other mechanics too, such as bleed or of course poison, and all these different party members that you're going to learn later on who also will gain different skills and everything like that and have better, specific like specialized stuff for them. And I I understood that like just walking into this, but I think the main thing that kind of drew me in was the fact that um how easy it is for you to win and lose. Because it's really one of those things where if you don't understand mechanics, if you're under leveled, if you can't keep up with some things, then you're gonna like lose. And I learned that pretty quickly. So trial and error, I was able to like find myself in a good space where like the results of my what I've learned are paying off in a lot of the fights. So at a certain point, I totally forgot about like break and topple and days, but once I was reminded of how the mechanics work and just kind of put like an emphasis on breaking and then toppling and just like throwing the unga boonga damage, um
Unga bunga.
it was definitely really worth kind of like that aspect of like the mechanics of the game. So positive to say, Xenoblade Chronicles lives up to that like interesting like mechanic that they got going on, and I'm looking forward to like throwing myself further into the game. And I think it's gonna help. All that knowledge that I've kind of picked up in the early parts is gonna help me like way further in, but we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not even like within the first half of the game. I'm pretty sure. What am I like 10, a little over 10 hours in? So there's still like a lot of groundwork to go. But you know how sometimes in the beginning of a game they'll throw you as a character at like a higher level than usual, and sometimes it's either like somewhere in the middle of the game or like end game stuff. They just have like
In
the
the end
best
game.
like stuff. Dunban was your example in the game where like he was at levels 20 something. It's a little further in, but he's fighting out there. And I was like, oh shoot, well, we're gonna start off with these level 1 dudes and we'll eventually catch up. Well, like I caught up with this dude already. And he's with us now. He's joined our party. And so it's like, oh shoot, well, there's a lot more. So we'll see. It's a really cool thing to kind of like
What is
look
the
at
max
that.
level? We don't know.
Oh, like from what I remember seeing, you can really kind of get through this game at like level 70 or 80, which is I think that's a pretty normal thing for like longer JRPGs. Usually it's like 40 or 50, but yeah, but this one's like, wow, dude. Well, I guess I only say that because one, you literally walk into the first open field and it has like a level 80 dude, and like, what the what is this? What do you mean he goes aggro on you? I'm literally fighting this, having to fight this boss over and over again. I look behind me and there's a level, like a pair of level 70s. Like, I'm like, why don't you fight them? but it has to be me.
Gotta be you, man. Can't be anybody else.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just wanted to say I was super like excited with like the kind of the realization getting into a certain point of Xenoblade Chronicles, and now I'm like kind of like strapped in now. So it's like, all right, I'm totally in for like just experiencing the entirety of this world, um, as efficiently as I can. By the way, just so I can get to the second one and then the third one. But other thing I wanted to share real quick was like one of my anticipated, like, I guess I can still call them like indie series franchise and company, was that integrates Gunvolts 3. I forget, I think it's coming out in July or June. But the pre-order just happened recently through limited run, so I was able to place my order the moment I got like the news that it was available for pre-order. So I will see that in probably 5 to 6 months. We'll see. I'm not in like I'm not too impatient on waiting to play that one. I honestly kind of wanted to replay the other two, which I've cleared the first one like on stream before. And I still need to play the second one and the spin-off series after that. But big fan of just like the Mega Man to Mega Man X and then Zero kind of like aspect of gameplay. So definitely just down for this one. Um oh, ooh, really big thing like as far as games. For me personally, but it's about Pokemon, right? Pokemon Home had their integration
Yeah,
on.
Pokemon Home got the update.
Yeah, they got the update that lets you link up your Pokemon Legends Arceus progress and lets you trade stuff and transfer stuff over back and forth. Same thing with BDSP, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You can do the same thing. So those three games, if we're gonna count Pokemon Home as one of those, can now like mingle with each other. The only issue is that there's a lot of limitations when it comes to whatchamacallit, Legends Arceus, because they're really kind of stuck with that Hisuian Pokedex. And there's some forms that you can't really transfer over, per se. Like, for example, pretty much every single final evolution standard of the starters cannot be transferred over. And that's the same like the other way around. Well, you can't transfer like all of them to Pokemon Home. You just can't like have a Hisuian Typhlosion into like Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. You can't just have a normal Typhlosion though, so that's all you can get though from that. I believe I think, did I check this? But it was something about Pikachu. Oh yeah. So there's a couple limitations. You could definitely check them out online, but there's certain things about Pikachu and Eevee and Meowth actually that you can't really transfer over, and those are things something like if they have the G-Max type of thing that's specific to their like evolutionary state. For what I heard, so the reason that you can't transfer like a Gigantamax Pikachu over to like Legends Arceus or BDSPs because they don't want you to have a G-Max like Raichu for some reason.
They don't want you. They don't want you to have these Uber Pokemon.
It's like, but like Raichu doesn't become Fat Pikachu. He is Fat Pikachu.
Raichu deserves more love.
I think so too. I'm actually looking back on it, like I actually am a big fan of like the Alolan form of that one, and I should really work on trying to get that one.
All cutesy.
Yeah, the one that surfs on his tail perpetually.
Yeah, he does the surfing. He's literally a surfing Raichu reference.
It's great. I love it. I also kind of like that typing too, but
Electric Psychic.
the electric psychic, you know, the one that doesn't like double cripple this thing. Because what was it? Pokemon Go actually has a community day today. You catch Alolan like Geodudes in like mass amounts, and you can get a shiny pretty easily through that. And I was like, oh cool, it's a golden like Geodude. He's electric and rock. He's absolutely crippled to ground types. He will absolutely just like get folded like laundry. But what was I gonna say as well? It was about the integration. There's quite a bit of like restrictions here and there. There's a whole thing about Spinda, and I think that's specifically for BDSP. Was that like the different forms can't really be registered for that because Spinda has like different patches on it that kind of makes it distinguished from other ones. I know that people kind of like when people want to say like they want to complete the Pokedex, they also do that too. We're talking about gender differences. We're also talking about like variational differences just visually, regardless of gender. The different forms that they can take. Like, there's so many things to consider at that point. Um, I know that right now the origin forms of like Dialga and Palkia do not like become like something you can even pick up from on Pokemon Home. They just kind of revert back to a normal form,
They say this doesn't exist.
or at least they like to really like manage like, oh well, you have to like use an item for them. That's the same thing with Giratina, where Giratina has its origins form, and you put it into Pokemon Home, it goes back to its like its base form. And it's like, oh well, you need an item for that, and items don't get carried over. So we're just making it easier for you and for us. So it is what it is. But people are able to transfer like all the legendaries over, so I think that's a super cool thing. I'm definitely gonna do that. Right now, my plan is to just actually make a living dex out of the Hisuian Pokedex because I find that to be a lot easier than any other game. So I'm gonna be doing that. But also shiny hunting, because I'm gonna just like move them all over to Pokemon Home anyway. It's gonna be great.
You're just like it's easier to get shinies in this game. So and now that the home's here, oh, this is just perfect.
Yeah. They made a distinction for the national decks in Pokemon Home. So instead of like a universal one, they do break it up quite a bit. So like
Then of course they do.
of course they do. Like you caught them all, but did you catch them all though?
Oh,
Which I'm like, man, but all right, we'll see where we go from here. So it'll be like the first one I'll be able to like complete pretty easily. But you know, I still haven't really like fully dived into like Diamond and Pearl. But it's gonna be interesting because kind of like what I did with whatchamacallit, with Pokemon like Emerald, right? I started off with a Mudkip, and one of the first things I did was play a couple bits here and there, and I was like, you know, leveling up is gonna be really slow. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't I just transfer it all the way over to whatchamacallit, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and just have it go through like training camp? And my Emerald character literally just receives a level 50 Swampert, like, hey, it's me. It's like, oh well, it's time to sweep. And it's gonna be the same process too. Like, oh look, I just got like well, I'm not gonna do that to my shiny like Turtwig. I kinda wanna do a traditional like Nuzlocke run of that one. I won't release it though. That's crazy. But I'll just kind of follow the Nuzlocke rules.
he will not put himself up to that public embarrassment.
Right. Like, but in an instance like this, I could really just like take out whatever starter I have on some other backup file, transfer it over to Legends, and literally just like feed it like all the candies in the world, and then send it back. And then it's all of a sudden like, hey, it's me. Chimchar, what happened? I don't know. I just ate a lot of candy and came back. And it's gonna and then sweep. It's gonna be great. Or it'll just be like a nice little silly fun distraction. Although it won't help me with the other older games though. Not for long. But I think that's everything else for the like the Pokemon stuff and the games as well. I did see that they did have released that short for Pokemon. It dealt with the Hisuian Zora. It was actually a shiny variant for some reason. I'm not complaining. But it was 6 minutes. Not much like in the story aspect of it, but it was just one of those things where they emphasize like a couple of like themes that you'll see like in the game. And just like that curiosity to interact with a creature that you've been otherwise told not to interact with. It's very brief in the grand scheme of the entire like short, but it's still like a nice little like distraction when you see it. So I definitely recommend that. I think that's on the main Pokemon channel. So yeah, be sure to check that one out. I got a couple last things here. I just watched this recently. But we're shifting over to topics in regards to Marvel actually. One thing
Don't you dare say it.
one out of the two things I noticed.
Don't you dare say
I'll
it.
say it properly, right? It's actually announced series for She-Hulk. So yeah, I forget. Do we know when that was gonna happen as far as like the
I
release?
think it's next. I think it's like June or July.
Oh my god, dude. So soon. But yeah, this is also a character I'm not 100% too familiar with, so it's gonna be nice to see how they adapt it and seeing people say
They
like,
did.
"Oh, this is how
They
this
did keep
is."
it in.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Like they did keep it in pretty properly though, because she is Bruce's cousin.
I did, I did pick up on that too. It's like, nice,
Yeah, same way it is in the comics.
Bruce, my cousin. Although I'm
Your
gonna be really
cousin, you want to go bowling?
not right now, Roman. I'm in a
Not right now,
helicopter,
Roman.
Roman.
I'm in the helicopter, Roman.
My God. I kind of a quick aside. I did kind of rewatch a bit of like of Grand Theft Auto 4 and how like that one girl like betrays like Nico, but like what I didn't realize was how obvious it was until the end.
Right.
There's price tags and new stuff all over this apartment. Did you just move? Oh, no. Well, these are all new. What's going on? I just like change. It's all. Nico, do you hang out with bad guys? I don't like you asking these questions. Oh yes, Nico, tell me more. Man, that's some devotion to your job.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. But all right, going back to She-Hulk real quick. I won't say quite yet, but it's I'm really curious as to seeing how like what seems to be a normal attorney kind of finds herself in this situation where like she is forced to kind of, well, not forced, I'm not sure, but pretty much is to take the serum and become a superhero essentially.
Yes. Yes. No. No.
No, I'm gonna love it. Like honestly, for a long time we've seen Bruce kind of like post the original like the Incredible Hulk that kind of like sparked the whole like, I mean obviously Iron Man kind of like started it, but like Incredible Hulk did kind of have a link to that as far as the Avengers. So since that, our new I would say quote unquote new because he kind of made his appearance all the way back in Avengers 1, but we haven't had like an original just Incredible Hulk movie since then. So he's been all over the MCU in several cameos, if not like a supporting role here and there. But just physically, just all over the place too. And this is not an exception. But he's also come back again, so I'm happy about it because he's one of the original Avengers, and him as well as Hawkeye just have like this bit of like insight that I'm always curious about, like the things that happen like post the snap, if you will. I don't want to say blip.
The blip.
So dumb. It's not a
The
blip.
The blippening. The blip.
They were literally dusted.
Dusted, snap, anything besides blip.
But I understand that the blip refers to when they pop back in. But like, I'm tired of it. My God. Oh, but again, I'm happy to see Bruce like take a little bit more of a supporting role again. I really don't think we'll be seeing him in a standalone film anytime soon. We'll see though. Right now, it's just kind of focusing on how what was her name? Main character? I think it was Jennifer, right?
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer, I believe is her name.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be a question of like how does she kind of revert back to a normal like bit of life despite like just the circumstances that she finds herself in, becoming She-Hulk. So far from what the trailers showed us, we haven't really seen too much like action per se. I might have to review the footage again, but because I know they do.
We saw her and Bruce jumping.
Yes, so that's her kind of like
Your ass
learning
is
the
crazy
powers.
right now.
Mm. And of course, like there's something we can't really ignore from the trailer. It's her just trying to like date people like normal.
That was my favorite part of the trailer.
It's honestly been the best day I ever had. And she's like, "Oh, hey, you want to split some fries for now? We can take those to go."
Let's get those to go. And she just carries this buff man off.
She carrying this buff man. It's great.
Just princess style.
And of course, I wanted to do a quick highlight on this now that like I've seen the trailer, but I know that people have things to say about it, and they're not always positive, right? I guess like people are like they're already comparing like how she is like originally in the comics. In the comics, she's absolutely yoked.
Oh yeah, she's way buffer than they have her here.
like that character you showed me a while back about the hunting guild before it got canceled. They had like that super crazy yoked woman. Yeah, pretty much that.
Yes, the waifu.
The top tier, you just don't want to admit it. Waifu. But yeah, so people are always saying that like that's something weird. I remember reading some, obviously this is just the internet, but hearing something in a tweet saying that like there was plans to have her like a bit bigger, but then like as the production went, they slowly but surely just made her quote unquote smaller. Now, considering the fact that she carried like a fully buff man like in an apartment room, she's tall as hell. She is pretty buff.
Very big.
So I personally don't have an issue with it. Although if you made her super shredded, I wouldn't be against that. But this is also acceptable too. It's gonna be interesting though, because I did look at the screenshot or the thumbnail of the video. It shows her like holding out a phone, and for some reason that looks like super jarring, like just visually for me. But I think in action it'll be just fine. Yeah, it should be just fine.
She carried that man off. She carried that man off death by Snoo Snoo.
She threw him on the bed, ready to do the deed. He already knocked out.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Hey, listen, it's an honorable way to go. And real quick, because I wanted to give some highlights on this, because this was also another thing on Twitter where like I think Marvel, I don't know which specific branch of Marvel tweeted this out, but they were like, tomorrow you get to see this, and it showed like a bunch of like casted characters like from Marvel like in a specific like art style, and people were saying that looked like a Capcom like presents type of thing. It wasn't. Like it looked like an ultimate like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 type of looking type of thing, but it actually wasn't. Turns out it's actually a free-to-play card game. Which I know, everyone hold down, like wait, pause, everyone pause. Don't dismiss it just yet, because it looks like, just from like the video and trailer, they didn't outright tell you how the game plays, but you have a lot of people just hyping up. Granted, that's part of the promotion of like the game, but I don't know, keep a lookout for it. It's called Marvel Snap. The snap just refers to just like
is it like Master Duel where we open packs?
I believe so. If we're good, if it's specifically referring to Master Duel and not like a gotcha game, I mean, though it is kind of is that, but yeah, the idea is that yeah, you can still earn like your cards normally without having to go through like the extra bit. It's pay for convenience, is what it seems like. But otherwise, like the main stuff is there. From what they're telling us is that the game will play at a very fast pace, in the sense that you're not waiting for turns. Your turn is always your turn, and you're just like putting like cards in there, and like they can go as short as 3 minutes or less for a match. And I was like, that's really fast. So I'm really curious about that. It is free to play, so it'd be one of those things where it's like, ah, cool, let's check it out. Actually,
Pog.
so we'll see. I don't know. I did like the illustrations they put for the characters like on individual cards. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. They talked openly about variants, and I was like, oh, they're doing a thing. They're doing a thing. All right, I acknowledge it. Yeah, we'll see more about that. Which is interesting enough that they didn't even mention like how the rules play. They had so much hype, but we don't really know how like it plays. But I still appreciate the fact that they hyped it up like that. So I don't know, more developments hopefully underway. But for now, that's all we got as far as this so-called like Marvel Snap. Probably actually, I'm pretty sure I could probably look further into it, like if I check out on Twitter. Oh my god! First of all, She-rek. Second of all, here's something else I wanted to talk about. But I had to like slip in that last
It's
little
in the
joke.
title, you can't avoid it.
We can't avoid it. No, honestly, I wish I came up with that joke. I most certainly did not. Someone just like posted.
I know that feeling of saying like, man, I would have loved to have come up with that joke, but I can't take credit for it.
Yeah. Then I saw the text, and now I don't believe it. She-rek.
Bruh.
Disrespectful, but it's also very funny. But oh, you know what? I didn't even mention this. It actually happened a little bit more recently, where we're seeing sales reports about the Xbox Series X, or I guess the series, just generally speaking, doing well in Japan actually. I think it was a while ago.
Didn't I mention that a while ago?
I think so. I think I could have heard it this week. Yeah, I think it was this past week I heard it.
Yeah, I said it a while ago. Yeah, they were saying that. I said that months ago actually. Is that they said that yeah, the Series X is the best-selling console in Japan.
It might have been another thing like happening recently as well. But yeah, I was like, that's really impressive actually.
Yeah, especially because like PlayStation's losing on their own home turf.
Damn. Well, I hope that PlayStation does well considering what they're providing with their subscription service now, and just like the flexibility on that. But funny enough, if I'm gonna go ahead and derail on Xbox like for a little bit, I just turned mine on and realized I had an update, so I did that, and then I realized that I ran out of internal space. Like, oh no, I've gotten to that point already. Now all of a sudden that like little external like what was it called at this point? What's the official name on that one? The extra capacity one. Yeah, that's starting to start.
Oh,
starting to
like
look.
You want the Seagate?
Yes, thank you. Their high like capacity cards are now starting to look a lot more alluring to me, especially that 2 TB one. But I'm like, no, wait, don't do it just yet. That's still expensivo. So we'll see about that. For now, I just kind of uninstalled like a couple games that I've finished or not currently playing at this time. So I was able to cut it down a little bit. So I have like some spare like downloading space if need be in the future. Which is why I'm super happy about games.
You could always just get like a 64 terabyte external.
Yeah, 64. You know, I saw that. Like I know that GameStop actually were like clearing out like their stock on I think 10 to 12 terabyte like these big bulk Seagate ones. And I was like, that seems tempting. But I understand that that won't really quite help with like Series X like versions of games. Those still will have to be internal, if not added to Seagate's like other like Pacific proprietary thing. Um, to which the external is actually just fine still. I can still really work with that one. But uh it just kind of sucks I've reached like the maximum over there. I was like, ooh, I guess I'm finally doing this.
Very cool. It's finally come full circle.
It's finally come full circle. But that makes me much more appreciative towards games that just kind of like really don't require that much for downloading space. Um, I'm probably talking about later on. I don't have the confirmation of the download size for it because it's still in alpha right now. Multiverses. It's probably gonna be one of those games that will probably cost maybe like 20 gigs, maybe at max, and that's it.
A friend of mine who was playing it really enjoyed it.
So the thing about multiverse is that it has a closed alpha right now, for a short period of time. I think by next Friday it's done. For I guess like for them to further develop the game. I actually signed up for an account. I think yesterday. So I was like,
So
oh,
you still
cool.
get in.
Uh, from what I understand, there's a chance that you might receive something. There's also a chance you can't. So
As you're saying, it's like I would sign up if it's a guarantee.
yeah, like I signed up, but I totally did not remember about this closed alpha. So I probably should have done it at least earlier than that. But there's still always a chance. Otherwise, you probably need to be invited to get like a code in. But unfortunately, I don't have one quite yet. So I'm kind
My
of
friend
waiting.
he loves playing as Tom and Jerry.
Oh my god. Listen, I was thinking about like what characters I'd use, and I was like, you know what? I think I'd go for Tom and Jerry. I have a lot of memory with
Funny
them.
because like whenever the enemy's at high percent, he would snipe them with Jerry because you can shoot Jerry out of a slingshot.
I saw a little bit of that. Maximilian dude like
I
launched
was like, this
Jerry into
man
the
can't,
pit, and I was like, oh no, is he coming back?
dude. This man can. This friend of mine, this man can't hit shit in a shooter. He's terrible with a gun. If you give him a mouse, just all of a sudden he's a gunslinger.
It's all of a sudden.
With a gun, no, but a mouse.
Nah, but a mouse though? Okay, okay.
Batman. I watched him play Batman. Batman looks like he plays like a mixture of Captain Falcon and Joker.
I just love the fact that like if you just go on Twitch right now, the main like thumbnail that you see for Multiverse is literally Batman with a sandwich and Shaggy with the batarang.
That's hilarious.
So funny. Also, just as hilarious as Shaggy just pulling up a sandwich out of the ground. It's like
Also,
it's
can I
great.
just say how funny it is to me that Velma is in it
Yeah,
because it just felt so out there.
it's really
And
ridiculous.
on top of that, another really great thing is that she has vicious mockery as an attack.
This, I mean, what's she really gonna hit you up with? Her glasses? She needs those.
I mean, for any D&D people will get that vicious mockery is like a bard thing where they insult you and it does damage.
Wait,
Her literal words go at you.
is that a natural thing for a bard to learn?
Yeah, you can learn it. It's like a spell.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
There's that, and so she does that, and she can gather up when Velma hits an enemy, she gets a clue. You can grab a clue. When you get all seven, you get like I think it's like a
The
certain like
Dragon
maybe
Ball.
7 clues. Yeah, when you get all seven, I think it's like 7 clues or so. When you get all the clues, you can activate your ability. It's just call the cops, and it works like the villager. But it works like the villager's bus.
Oh my god.
I just like it says call the fucking cops.
But did she just call the cops on Batman? And there he goes.
And Bugs Bunny definitely got like he's definitely pretty good from what I saw.
Hmm.
Like you could definitely go from what I saw. You can go up out of the ground, come out of it, hit them into the air, hit them with the Acme rocket, and then hit them with a nice other attack.
Hmm. Okay.
So like so you get some combos.
That's interesting.
Finn Finn got them Gohan buffs from fighters, bro.
Oh, what were those buffs exactly?
He can make himself faster and stronger.
Oh. Oh no.
Here's here's the thing though, Finn, like the speed boosts are permanent. That much I know.
Oh
But
no.
like he goes into his backpack and he's got a shop.
Okay. Okay.
He can buy boots for speed. He can buy armor for defense. He can buy a weapon for damage. But he's as you hit the enemy and stuff like that, they drop coins for your currency.
Interesting. Hey, he sets up. Oh, no, he visits the shop in the middle of the battle, chooses between one or the other upgrades, and they're, from what I understand, they're permanent buffs throughout the duration of the map. Or sorry,
I know at least
match.
the speed one. The speed one I know is at least permanent.
My God.
I will say though, Game of Thrones I was not expecting to be in the game.
I guess WB want to like try to do some representation here.
There's also a game original, which is rain dog. It's like a reindeer
Oh
dog.
yeah, I saw that one. I was like, I do remember like this was a very specific character that doesn't have any origins aside from the game itself. And I did
Yeah,
see it
the
in
game
the,
original.
yeah, like, and then I saw like what it can do, kind of.
Oh, he's a great. Apparently, he's a great support character.
Yeah, great support actually. So I was like, actually I like that.
Can,
It's
can
also
literally just
funny that
teleport your
like,
teammate back to the stage.
yeah, like it's interesting with Smash Brothers, right? Because like you have to deal with all these different body types. Some like you can't really hit easily. Other ones like, but like they all kind of like carry a similar fashion where they're either robots that just stand stationary or they're just all bipedal. But this reindeer dog is all on fours and it's a huge unit.
I just saw. I was just looking at the on Twitch. I just saw a Velma spike somebody, and I never thought I'd say that in my life.
Did you know about the thing about Velma as well? Um, whenever she crawls on the ground, was that
Please tell me my glasses. My glasses. I can't find my
it's
glasses.
essentially like that. The idea is that it's a very slight thing that they do, but when Velma's in that animation, the entire screen blurs a little bit. Just blurs a little bit. You could still read percentages. You could still like make out like physical objects
Blurry.
and people moving, but they did that because that's how Velma's perceiving everything.
Yeah, they definitely they also have unique dialogue between all the characters.
That's nice. That
Like
is
with Jake, with Tom and Jerry and Jake, he's like, I can't tell if you two actually like each other or not, but
that. Oh man, that does feel like a money flex.
and they make a Mortal Kombat reference. Jake's like, you hear Jake say, "Get over here."
Well, I guess they ought to do that before like they start adding in those characters. I have a feeling that they'll throw
The
in one.
Tasmanian. Have you seen Taz?
Listen, all I can really get out of him is just him just going. Blah, 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 blah.
Him, dude. If he hits you a certain amount of times, you just turn into a roasted chicken.
He turned to roasted chicken.
Yeah, you can't even attack when you're a roasted chicken.
I'm like, what? I don't even understand the context.
It's because like in Looney Tunes, I remember back in the day, like Taz would always view people as or view other people like other cartoon characters in Looney Tunes
Just
as like
just
roasted
think,
chicken.
yeah, just roasted chickens.
And one of his like abilities, like one of his attacks, is literally assault. He literally just salts you and peppers you with the shakers.
You transform into fried chicken. I love it. Love that character. But now the question is like, what other characters are they planning on adding? Because I can just imagine a Mortal Kombat character. They wouldn't even like. I'm sure they won't pass it up.
There's that. I would expect Spike from Tom and Jerry,
Clayface,
the
please.
dog.
I think Clayface would make a really good like addition.
That and Daffy.
Oh yeah, Daffy, of course. Like, give him the give him like every single possible like outfit that he's got.
Dude, please, if he gets hit, I want his beak to spin around his face.
um. Also, yeah, who's I forget his name actually. Who's the hunter in
Elmer Fudd.
Elmer? Yeah, you know, I could see it. I could see him being added to the roster.
Rhyme style is playing multiverse, and his title is "I'm built like Bugs Bunny."
I'm built like Bugs Bunny. Um. Oh shoot, I'm blanking on.
I know
Um.
Steven Universe is also in it.
Yeah. So right now they have Steven. They also have Garnet.
Is
I'm pretty
Cartoon
sure.
Network Warner Brothers?
I don't think so.
Because Steven's from Cartoon Network.
Yeah. So they must have had some. Actually, I'm not sure. Wait, if it's WB and it's just anyone who's related to W, does that mean Ruby might come in? Oh
I
no!
mean,
Oh no!
I I mean, think about it, because who else is? Because Adventure Time, Cartoon Network.
Interesting. So I don't even know how they're making things work.
The DC, the old DC cartoons, or the DC animated specials and stuff like that. They would always be on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what is going on
When
with
are we
that.
getting Ben 10?
Oh no, dude. Benton's gonna be busted.
When we getting Jake from My Gym Partner's a Monkey?
Hey yo, where's Laszlo, please?
I was going to say the same thing. Where's Laszlo?
And the entire crew from Total Drama Island.
Don't tempt me. Chef from Total Drama Island.
And they release our digging into like the archives of Cartoon Network.
Oh my dude! If they brought in Chris from Total Drama Island, that'd be hilarious. They bring in Gumball.
Ooh.
They bring in fucking Ed Nettie.
They just bring Blue in from Foster's Home.
Just bring in.
Not even the obvious choice, Eduardo.
I was gonna say Eduardo feels like the best fitting choice.
Mm.
They bring in Will.
I'm sorry, but
Will. I'm sorry, but
I'll
they
need to
bring in
slap you with
Coco.
my one hand.
I remember Wilt's backstory is so damn sad.
It's really sad, dude.
Man got
They
his
had a
arm
whole
crushed.
good Wilt hunting.
I know he got his arm crushed saving his kid.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of implied that his kid is Michael Jordan?
Yeah, actually, like his kid is now currently like in their world, a currently successful like basketball player, I believe.
Because I feel like he was a Michael Jordan reference essentially.
As far as the reference, I couldn't say, but it might as well be. Yeah.
Man, Will got his arm broken in that game. Ball hit and messed up his eye.
They also, oh yeah, did they make a straight up reference to Powerpuff Girls while having like by having what was it Mojo Jojo? Because Will was literally going over every single possible variant of like imaginary friends, and he literally put unimaginable ones. Some kids just make up like characters that they just see in television shows. We don't really know what to do with them.
Oh yeah, and then just literally just Mojo Jojo.
This is Mojo Jojo. Yes, you've been a bad
I
monkey. I know. The dude, the
Who
Powerpuff
else did they?
Girls. First of all, if they made the
Did they do that Powerpuff
multiverse,
Girls?
like if they added Powerpuff Girls, if we're going through this line of reason, they would be absolutely immoral by their own code. They
Dexter's Laboratory.
they would break into prison to beat the shit out of you. Also Dexter's Lab, yeah.
Cow and chicken.
Cow and chicken.
That'd be way left field.
Yeah. And then I feel like as we go further into that, we start to like chain up into like Nickelodeon stuff, and I'm like, no, they got their own thing going.
No, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with the one you never would expect.
Hmm.
The Justice Pals.
The Justice Pals.
You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly. The just the
Krug.
blatant rip off of Avengers.
You got all the Valhallen. Krug.
Valhalla.
Valhallen. Krug.
Oh my god. You know, that was buried. That was a memory that was buried in me. I didn't even expect it. If they threw in those characters,
Dude. Absolute, like, the DLC would be sold out.
the Justice Spouse.
Oh my, no, the monkey. The monkey.
Oh. Oh.
With the black and gold suit.
Oh my god. You know, I think I should definitely look into like what rights do they own, like going forward with this.
They could also put Encourage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, they could, but like we haven't really fully even confirmed what rights under like Steven Universe, for example, are they able to work with
True.
it?
Yeah, they could do Generator X.
Oh my god. Yeah, like I was wondering like exactly why do they have some of these characters in here?
Magus XLR.
I'm like, it's over. It's a wrap.
Not even the mech, just the big dude. Dude, the blonde hair and the goatee.
Let me see. Oh boy.
Robot boy.
Robot boy. You know, I have to keep looking over here. Or as I mean, yeah, it's like I'm just really wondering like what does Warner Bros have their hands on? Is this just a collaboration type of thing?
Scoutmaster Lumpus.
Oh my god, dude. Like the list goes on.
Commander Hoo-Ha.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at like all the specific like when you go on the website, you can go at the very bottom. They'll reference every single like um what do we call them? Trademark stuff,
Property.
properties. Cartoon Network is already on there, so yeah, they now have.
Yep, anything goes.
Yeah. Also, I see Rick and Morty. I'm very concerned.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm looking at it respectfully. Right, somewhere behind Cartoon Network is literally just Rick and Morty. Anything related to the characters and elements, and Cartoon Networks, Tom and Jerry, Scooby Doo, and all the other related stuff, as well as Game of Thrones.
The open beta is in July. And it's free to play and crossplay.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool thing. Um, so it's available for PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Series, and just PC. So as long as you have any one of these platforms, you can literally, as long as you hook it up to your like WB Games account at that point, then you can literally just play against anyone. Actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Iron Giant is in it.
Oh yeah, dude, that trailer had no right hitting us in the feels like that. No right.
So far the roster is the Iron Giant, Taz, Velma, Arya Stark, Batman, Bugs Bunny, Finn the Human, Garnet, Harley Quinn, Jake the Dog, Rain Dog, Shaggy, Steven Universe, Superman, Tom and Jerry, and Wonder Woman.
My god, dude. And Wonder Woman's a sword fighter.
Oh boy, here we go.
My god.
I'm gonna Google multiverses leaks.
Oh, if you want leaks, just
Full multiverse,
if you want
full
leaks, just zoom
multiverse
in on Batman
roster
holding the
list is
sandwich.
confirmed. So wait, hold on. Full. It says full list of confirmed and leaked characters.
Oh my god.
I want to see.
Don't
I
do
want to
it.
see what characters have been leaked.
Don't do it.
I gotta know.
You're setting yourself for possible disappointment.
I gotta know.
But you're gonna look it up. You're gonna be like, Courage. Oh my god! And then you're gonna be disappointed when Courage doesn't show up.
Right.
Although, if I'm wrong, please just like reference what I just said here.
So data mining has played a part in these.
Has it actively?
Yep. Marvin the Martian.
Oh, actually, no, that makes sense. Actually, I can see that.
This was an original leak of the game. It had an original leak of the game had LeBron James
Oh my god, LeBron James.
because of Space Jam. I was like, in
Yeah,
that case, where's Michael
yeah,
Jordan?
yeah. Where's Michael Jordan? I'm pretty sure if
The
you, yeah, just
Joker.
reach out to Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure you'd be okay if you need the rights there.
Yeah, they have the Joker. They have Nubia. They have Raven. Oh my God, Gandalf and Legolas.
Oh, if you put Legolas in there, it's over, dude. It's done.
Harry
Gandalf is
Potter
great,
and
though.
Ron Weasley.
No, no, wait. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, hold on. Ron's, yeah, technically Disney property. Yeah, I'm not seeing that right now.
Uh,
Hmm.
wait, Harry Potter? No, Harry Potter's not a Disney property.
Although,
They've never been a Disney property.
no, but they have some links with WB, right?
I believe so. They're a Universal property, I think, with links to WB.
Okay, that gives them it.
Also, they yeah, you're right. Rick Sanchez and Morty
My God,
and Cromulon.
they know
Fred
exactly what they're
Flintstone.
doing. They're
Fred
building up so much
Flintstone.
clout.
So Yabba Dabba Doo and Johnny Bravo.
Oh, if they put in Johnny Bravo.
Mad Max. Ben 10.
Oh god. Oh, if it's real, then I don't even know what to say.
Godzilla.
They do. What the? They do
King
have rights to
Kong.
that. And Kong.
Neo from The Matrix.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that was
Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
nice, nice.
Gizmo from The Gremlins.
Not familiar with that one now.
Emmett from the Lego Movie.
Oh, I guess I can reach for that.
Or it could be they say,
Ninjago?
or it could be Back to the Future.
Lego Batman.
They said it could be Back to the Future, possibly. And Justin, I want you to know, I'm reading this on here, and it says this was an early in March data mine that they found this name,
Okay.
Naruto.
No, don't even like.
I'm not making that up. I'm reading it off the list.
Don't give hope. There's nope. That's opening up a big can of worms right there.
Wreck-It Ralph or Fix-It Felix,
Sure.
which would mean I guess would mean that they would get some collabs with Disney
Disney or just at least maybe Pixar.
and the Incredible Hulk.
Ooh, wait. Why
Like
specifically the Incredible
I
Hulk?
think that would mean that maybe they would be doing some Disney collabs, which makes sense for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, if Nintendo's able to do it, then I think
Like,
it's possible.
I'm trying to think if there's any property that they have used, because I think I remember them saying, or maybe it was Nickelodeon All Stars, that they aren't against using characters from other properties like that aren't
Yeah, as long as they get the
originally theirs.
permission, right?
Like as long as they get permission, they're not against it.
Sure. I get that.
Which
Yeah,
would explain the leak which I guess would explain the leaks for, like, say like a show for like like say like Marvel or Shonen Jump.
Yeah, so I mean, if they do collaborations like that, then yeah, that's totally fine. But it's like now you're actually reaching levels of Smash Brothers where like your influence, just generally speaking, over the years has allowed you to do this. So really reach out and literally take Naruto into into your mix, and then
I mean, hey, Naruto got into Fortnite.
yeah, so it's possible. And then you're
I
gonna
still remember when I saw that, I was like, no fucking way.
that was honestly the weirdest thing I've ever seen a collaboration with Naruto. So I mean, listen, if the
And it
creator's okay
finally
with it,
brought the meme to life. I may be at a chakra Sasuke, but I
buying an
ain't at a option.
options.
It brought the meme to life.
Listen,
People there's even the emote that does the jutsu. People be pulling guns in after they do the jutsus.
yeah, I did see that one. But Mark, if you're gonna go that route, there's also one possible other route that they can take as far as collaborations.
Hmm.
Um, they could literally reach out into the anime community and literally bring Goku into this. They could,
I thought about that honestly. I was like,
and
could
they
you
can literally,
imagine
literally,
they introduce Naruto and Goku just to really kick it off?
yeah. So they can really bring the meme alive about Goku versus Superman
Dude,
in that front
is
too.
multiverse is multiverse just about to be the first fucking official Mugen game?
I mean, if that's ever like crossed their minds and they considered it, then yeah.
Like, there's always been like on Flash websites. There's always been Mugen games. Like, we're just characters from all over entertainment.
Actually, I'm all for it, especially since Sakurai had to do so much to get to that point, and it's like that dude can rest now. He can rest easy. We're like, there's nothing else that you really need to do, and so now this opens up the possibility of another franchise to kind of like pick that up. And it looks like Warner Brothers wants to take action with that. Obviously, Nickelodeon wanted to do the
Uh,
same thing too, but
I
like,
do hope it's not the last we've seen of Smash.
we'll probably I can't really say right now. If
I mean,
anything,
I definitely don't think Smash is done.
yeah.
But I honestly like. I'm hoping at the Summer Games show they say, "So heck, we changed our minds."
Yeah, we'll see.
Prank.
I'm not sure if they'll size it up like that, but we'll see.
It was a social experiment.
I think it's one of those things where we will either see like an announcement for supporting like Smash Brothers,
What did you do
kind
to
of
the
like
chat?
it's
The
gonna be
fucking
like
storage.
it's gonna be like whatchamacallit, it's gonna be like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it just unexpectedly gets the support. Because they just had like a big brain moment when coming to the service stuff as far as Nintendo Switch Online. They can go that route, or they literally will just like pull the rug right underneath us like maybe a year or so later, and just have equivalent Smash Brothers Ultimate 2. I can only imagine those two.
Honestly, like that'd be the first time they've ever done like a numbered Smash, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying like as an equivalent, something that like otherwise I would just say like Smash Brothers working title.
That hit Super Smash Bros.
Super Smash Brothers working title.
Super Smash Brothers Switch 2.
No, Super Smash Brothers Pro from the new Nintendo Switch Pro console.
Like honestly, I have no idea. Like, cause there's all like we said, all they gotta do, literally,
Okay.
all they gotta do,
Okay.
backwards compatible, and make it stronger. Boom, done.
I think they might do the exact same thing as Mario Kart 8 like that. Just wait until the next one and be like, okay, here's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Deluxe Edition.
Honestly, I feel like I said, but my opinion, I honestly just feel like they should give it the Mario Kart 8 treatment and just keep adding to it.
I honestly they've already kind of done like what they did, and it just kind of goes to show like I think if we really follow like the sale records, and if Nintendo decides to adopt this type of like strategy, then they'll definitely do that with Smash Brothers. Where
Like, to me, it just makes way more sense business-wise to actually continue Smash.
nah, see, because no, that makes sense. That makes too much sense actually. So we need to dial down and just not even continue.
That makes too much sense.
Yeah, no,
But Nintendo, it makes too much sense.
makes too much sense. Cut the entire project immediately. Why? Because I said so.
Nintendo's just like, wait, that makes too much sense. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, for real, I'm just like, dog, you gotta understand, it's really that easy.
We'll we'll get back to you after we immediately deject this. But oh my god. I guess for now we're just gonna focus on what Multiverses has to say. And for Smash Brothers, I feel like Smash Brothers wouldn't even need to reinvent anything. They know what they're doing. So it's almost on the same page as like Metroid and like coming out when all these Metroidvania games have like been trying to push forward with their own ideas. They don't need to do anything. They'll just have to add maybe some new mechanics here and there, or really just give it a whole touch of paint, make it 60 frames constant, and that's it. That's all they need to do. So did we talk about that? Yeah, oh no, we did talk about that. The fact is that Nintendo is really scared about what they want to do post Nintendo Switch. They do not want to do like the Wii U again. It's gonna be interesting. But I remember specifically that I didn't want to keep saying like the Switch Pro for that. Who knows if they'll even like, because that really is like PlayStation 4 Pro, and that actually does kind of make sense given the life cycle and the success of the Nintendo Switch anyway. But we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. But I think we are good to just kind of wrap it up. Is there anything else you would like to add, Mark, before we sign off?
No, but I also have to go eat some of this chicken, so I was gonna be
Oh,
RB.
oh, okay. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and call it here. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's been episode 412. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And thanks for watching. Hashtag bye, everybody. Once I can find this thing.
Fun thing.
Stop it.